Oh, we are live. We're trying to get this stream up and running. Welcome to another edition of the All Sports Matters podcast. I am your host, Mr. All Sports Matter himself, Amir Shiraz Ortiz, aka Poppy Ortiz O2, or just Amir Shiraz is just fine. Mr. All Sports Matters just fine. Uh, Mr. March Madness. Nah, I'm not really feeling March Madness as much. Maybe because we just gone through a historical World Baseball Classic. I know me and baseball go hand in hand. But yes, we are alive on this wild Wednesday edition of the All Sports Matters podcast. Welcome. Welcome on Facebook Live. Welcome on YouTube Live. And yes, I'm even streaming on Twitch. I don't know, I wanted to say twitching on stream. Yeah, it's my, as they say, tongue tidiness. Or might just because I'm Puerto Rican. Who knows? There's no telling. Either way, uh, I am not trying to buy time because no, I'm not alone. Uh, I can do these alone, but it's better with you guys. And the public is even better when I have my brother with me, Mr. 334 himself, Mr.
Oh,
Pattsville, Alabama,
what it
live
do? What it
Alabama.
do?
Uh, he's not an Alabama fan though. There's a lot of issues going on that campus, like usual. But uh, he is rooting for the Florida Gators, and we'll get to that in a moment. Number one seed, Florida Gators, by the
It
way.
shocked me. That shocked me.
No, and like I said, we'll break it down here momentarily, but I just think it was more. I don't think there's a clear cut number one outside of Duke that's been more consistent. And we'll get to that. What's going on with you? Anything new?
No, nothing new. Nothing new this way, man. Just living life. Work, 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 work.
If only we
Luckily,
could.
I had some downtime today and was able to get in here. I've been missing these, man. We need to do these things more often.
I totally agree. I'm down to do it every day of the week if we can get a couple minutes in. Because as we all know, sports is universal, and outside of COVID season, I'm knocking on a lot of wood here. We had sports every day. Nobody was more depressed than I during COVID, which took place what 4 years, 5 years ago, 5 years ago.
Well, 6 years now. It's 2026 now. 6 years.
It is. Well, the completion is like one. Yeah, I don't count the zero, but I should. So yeah, 6 years ago. Nobody starts out at zero. We start counting, right? You'd be like one, two, three, four. Nobody says, okay, let me start at zero.
Yeah,
Their
but
birth
there's
year, you know. But it is what it is. I believe babies when they get born should start at one. It's just so much easier. So much. But either way,
how things been on your side of the world?
quiet, quiet. Uh, yeah, crazy weather. Uh,
Yeah, man, this weather's been crazy.
wake up 30 degrees and go to bed at 90 degrees, and this weekend will be 95. And
Bro.
uh,
It
yeah,
was
it's
80 here, and then rain came, and the next day it was like 10. So yeah, yeah, I'm over this crazy weather pattern.
no, I totally agree. Just trying to get the views out there, trying to get the stream going. I don't know when I post it, go straight to reels. Just I guess that's a new thing, but whatever gets us out there.
I was about to say I sent it to a couple of the groups. So
Well, I know it's like when people be like, uh,
oh
such and
yeah,
such, like
that's
your
a fact.
reel, and I'm like, I'm not on a reel, I'm live. But either
Yeah,
way,
I don't understand it either, but they'll
whatever
find
Facebook
those
decides,
that matter will find us.
whatever Facebook decides to do to be difficult, whatever, whenever, as they say. Technically, the March Madness tournament started yesterday with four, no, two playing games, four teams, two playing games. Uh, North Carolina State and Texas already went down to the wire. I was confused watching that game. Texas hit the game when he shot with a second left. They called timeout, but they couldn't advance the ball. When can't they advance the ball? I thought after a made basket they could advance it to midcourt. I was confused about that one.
In college,
Yeah,
I didn't know that was the thing in college. I know in the NBA they do that, right?
I thought basketball period because college used to do that all the time.
I know they.
Unless I'm tripping, I don't really know.
I,
It threw me the hell off because there's no way with a second left. Even then, they threw the ball down the court and still got a shot off. So that was crazy enough. That was a great way to start the March Madness. But I haven't been feeling college basketball as much. I don't know if it's college basketball or it's just March. March is usually that dead month out the year where not much is going on. Basketball is kind of dragging towards the playoffs. NHL is hockey. Nobody really watches that too much that we know. Uh, we're not knocking it because here all sports do matter. You know, I watched the Olympics. The Olympics was a big deal. You know, when it
watched
came.
bits and pieces of the Winter Olympics. I watched bits and
Yeah,
pieces.
I watched. I watched.
You can't sit here and lie like I watched the entire thing. I watched bits and pieces of it.
No, I barely watched. I'm not gonna lie, barely. Like if it was on, or we go to bricks really all the damn time.
So it was definitely on there.
Yeah, there's nothing like having a beer watching curling, but it's a thing. I spent weeks. I got to know the names of the players, the luge, the rouge, all that
The
interesting
Rouge.
interesting, but back on brand or back on topic. The other game was UMBC against Howard. Howard got their first victory
Howard finally got a victory. Yep.
ever. So that was intriguing right now. Lehigh against Prairie View, which I guarantee you will be on 18 TVs in a 10 TV bar at Bricks right now. And the final game tonight, SMU against Miami, Ohio, which is intriguing because Miami, Ohio was undefeated before they lost a semifinal game of their conference championship. Is that fair for them to be one of the last four teams in?
I mean, well, they were already talking crap about them if they would have went undefeated. That they would have been like a really really low seed. Which I mean, I guess the level of competition. I guess
But we've been saying this for years, right? You play whoever's in front of you. Correct?
Bet says, does curling matter?
It does during the Winter Olympics. Keep up bets.
He
Now,
said, are hot dog eating contests considered to be a sport?
hey, yours truly was a judge during the hot dog eating contest. I saw it with my own eyes. It's a sport. And it's called Major League Eating. It's a thing. Okay? They get paid for that. They get paid. Hey, I call it a sport. It is what it is. Where was I? See, I was interrupted. With that being said, we always talked about teams can only play who's in front of them. Right? We've been saying that. So if it's fair for football, why is it not fair for a non-mid-major conference of Miami, Ohio?
Yeah, but I mean, I think especially in basketball, I think it has to matter a little bit more. I mean, I'm looking at their schedule and the teams that they played, and like the only team that I even recognize is Bowling Green.
And
They played UMass. They lost. They won by 2 to them, and then lost in the conference final to them. So I mean, yeah, I'm looking at their schedule right now, and yeah, I can kind of see, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying, one loss, no matter who you're playing, you only take one loss. You should have a little bit more respect. I mean, you could at least make them a 15 seed.
Right. And speaking of disrespectful, Duke was the number one seed overall, correct? They were the number one seed overall. They got to play in the East.
Yep.
But have you seen all the teams they put in that bracket?
That bracket is, and that's what I was going to get at. That East, whoever comes out of the East is going to definitely be battle tested because that team, that bracket has some teams. You got what? Kansas, Ohio State, TCU, Michigan State's in that one. UConn, I forgot about them. UConn's in that one. UCLA,
who just beat Michigan for that Big Ten tournament championship.
That bracket is stacked.
And I'm gonna give you a team that I believe is being completely disrespected in that conference, and I'm not mentioning Duke, and that's St. John's being a 5, who double-digit beat the number 2 seeded team in that bracket, Connecticut, St. John's.
You said you think that they're underrated?
They're disrespected. Why are they a 5 seed?
I don't know. Let's look at their. Dang, they beat UConn by 32.
Yes, they beat them in.
Well, they got beat by UConn by 32. My bad.
They beat each other by double digits, 20 plus.
Yeah, they lost by 32 to UConn, and they beat UConn by. I just saw it. Where you go? They only beat UConn by 9. Oh, they beat them in the tournament, is what you're saying? Yeah, right. They beat them in the tournament by 20. Yeah. But those were their only. Oh, okay. Earlier in the season, they had Alabama, Auburn, and Iowa State, which they lost all 3 of those.
Yeah.
So maybe that's it. I mean, their only win against top 25 teams was those wins against UConn.
Well, the Big East was definitely disrespected. They only got 3 teams out of that conference that made the NCAA tournament, which is crazy to me because Seton Hall was 4th at 21-11. Usually 21-11 at a major conference will get you a bid. So I thought that was.
But you also have to look at the strength of schedule. Like in basketball, they look at that strength of schedule thing a little bit harder because there's so many teams that they have to include. So they have to look at that strength of schedule.
No, and I totally I understand all that. I really do. But again, you can only play who's in front of you. That's scheduling. For the same reason that the UConn women are being disrespected as being the number 1 and undefeated team in the women's side. They said they didn't play anybody.
But they got the number 1 overall seed, though.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So
okay.
How can one be fair but not the other?
I don't know. They're sexist.
I don't know. I just it's definitely different. Missouri is 20-12. They're a 10 seed. You know what I'm saying? Like teams are barely 21 teams, and they got a favorable ranking in the brackets. So I just thought that was something to be mindful of.
But we all know that once this tournament starts, that those records go out the window. Anything can happen on any given day. So that's what I like so much about the NCAA tournament, the basketball tournament, is that 16 seed very well could be a number 1 seed. It's probably not going to happen this year, but it could happen.
So let's break it down. Obviously, we start with 4 number 1s, Duke being the overall. Your Florida Gators.
I was shocked at that. I'm going to be totally honest. After they lost, and in the manner that they lost to Vanderbilt, they lost by 17 to Vanderbilt in the SEC.
Vanderbilt finished hot.
Florida was hot. Florida was one of the hottest teams in the nation. But I was shocked that they got a 1 seed. I figured they would come in at a 2. When I saw them at a 1, I'm like, okay, I'll take it.
Since you said that, what other 2 should have been a 1?
I think UConn could have been a 1. Purdue maybe. Iowa State was balling.
UConn lost like 3 of the last 5 or 6 games. They finished bad. And NCAA hates their coach. Let's just be honest on that one as well.
I think had Iowa State won the Big 12, I think they would have got that other 1 seed. I'm shocked that they didn't give it to Arizona. Maybe
Arizona's the one.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, Arizona's the one.
Did I overlook them?
They finished 32-2.
Did I overlook? Oh, yeah. I had a brain.
Arizona and Michigan, and if we're being honest, Michigan didn't finish strong either. But that's what I'm saying. There was no towards the end. There wasn't a dominant team. Maybe Duke, maybe Arizona.
Houston
struggled a little bit, just a little bit. Their games were a lot closer than what meets the eye. They're a good team, though. I like the Houston team.
I think a lot of them
they're not dominant. That's what I'm trying to say.
But Houston losing by 5 to Arizona versus and again, and I'm a Gator fan through and through, but them losing by 17 to a Vandy team, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. They both finished 28-6. Houston only lost by 5 to the number 2 team in the nation at the time.
I didn't have any issues with Florida being the number 1. I actually called it towards the end of the regular season. They'll finish the number 1 because, like I said, there hasn't been a dominant squad going into. I will start with the conference championships, and then Duke now is dealing with injuries, so now they're about as vulnerable as it gets going into this March Madness tournament.
Yeah, Carlos Boozer's son's still healthy though, right?
Yes, the other brother is
They'll be fine. They'll be fine.
All right, now I get it, but their number 2 player is gonna be out for the first 2 games, so he's out through the weekend
against number 16, and then an 8-9 matchup. So,
but the 8 and 9 matchup, though, like I said, that bracket is testy. Ohio State and TCU.
Yeah, I think although I like both of those squads, I think Duke will have enough to get by them. Duke won't need them until at the earliest if St. John's makes it.
And then that Sweet 16, they'll play the winner of Kansas and St. John's. So that's going to be a second round game of St. John's and Kansas. That's insane to me. That's an Elite 8. That's a Final Four matchup.
Look who showed up.
We're going to bring our college connoisseur from the Isles of Congo. He's digging up some cream of wheat or whatever you are making today. Even cream of wheat sounds like a delicatessen when it comes to the chef. Welcome to the show. How's it going, big fella?
Hey, how y'all doing? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Your screen is
weird.
Frozen. You got a brick behind you.
I got a whole brick. I'm sitting on.
Yeah, your screen froze because it looks like you're looking straight down.
I don't know what's going on with this thing. Look.
Go out and there you go. You moved.
I know. Maybe because I was trying to add something real quick.
There we go.
You're moving now, I think.
You're about to start moving like a Jabberwocky.
Not a Jabberwocky.
So I don't know.
There we
big
go.
fella. We just started breaking down the NCAA tournament. We were talking about the disrespect that the NCAA has given Duke going into that Eastern Conference bracket. Just the East. There's no conference, just the East. East bracket. Teams including Duke, UConn. Who's the third? Louisville is 6. St. John's is 5. Kansas is 4. Michigan State. There we go. They're 3.
And look, the producer decides to chime in, just saying, well.
Talk to me about that bracket in the East, and who beats Duke.
I think Duke's coming out of that bracket. It's going to be, they're going to have to fight their way through it. They had some comp when they were going through the ACC tournament. So naturally, people are wondering, are they, do they have enough gas to finish it out? But I mean, Duke is still Duke, and like you said, if Booz is healthy, I don't know if anybody can stop that young man. That young man he is grown. He is a grown man, and he plays like a grown man in that paint. I like Duke to come out of that bracket. They're going to have to fight, though. Like you said, St. John's, they're not going to be a pushover. And depending on what Kansas we get, because Kansas has been up and down all season, it's a possibility that Kansas comes. And then you still got Michigan State in that bracket.
Yes.
Yep.
Michigan State, and people can feel how they want to feel, but Michigan State, they have the pedigree, they have the coaching, and they
will always have the boys right.
Yes, they are always, and when they get to the tournament, they know how to turn that switch on, and they go completely lights out. They push everybody to the limit.
Now, really briefly, this is not, I mean to cut you off, but this is not breaking news, but it did come out this afternoon. Duke was already without Caleb Foster for the weekend. Now they ruled out Patrick Ngagba, Deuce, number 2, that's his last name, for at least the first round, maybe through the weekend as well. And that's their starting center.
But, I mean, the first game is against Siena, so I would hold him out too. I'd let him sit down. It's Siena. I mean, they should have enough weaponry to get past Siena. Now, the round after that, they have to play the winner of the Ohio State TCU game. It could be a little bit problematic when they play in that one, but I still would go with Duke, even if they sit him out. The only real upset that I'm predicting right now, well, I'm predicting 2. I think South Florida is going to upset Louisville. And I just got a feeling UCF at the 10 seed is going to upset UCLA.
UCLA finished strong, though, in that Big Ten.
They did. They really did. But that 7-10 matchup is always a 10 seed that loves to mess somebody's season up. And that UCF squad is no slouch. That's a really good team. So that's my prediction for the upset in that bracket.
Now, usually we get at least one 5-12 upset.
Yes.
Usually.
Yes.
This year, 5 St. John's, which to me was not fair whatsoever. 28-6, and like 4 of those losses came within like the first month of the season. Nobody's hotter than St. John's right now. Maybe Arizona. I like the way Arizona's putting it together. But 5-12, we got St. John's, Northern Iowa. Is that an upset? Brewing, anyway.
I don't think so.
I don't see that one.
Vanderbilt, who took care of Florida against McNeese. Is that an upset?
Nope.
No, because Vanderbilt got hot at the end of the season.
Exactly. Vanderbilt got very hot at the end of the season.
Yeah, they were nuclear. So
here's the one that I picked to be upset 5-12, and that's Wisconsin versus High Point.
That's possible, but
I don't see it.
I went with Wisconsin on that one too.
Yeah, I don't see
High Point's a 30-win team.
I mean,
yeah, but who are those 30 wins against them?
Not Miami of Ohio. I don't know. And the other 5-12 is Texas Tech versus LeBron James Jr.
LeBron James.
Akron.
I went with Texas Tech on that one.
I did too.
So, you're right. Every year, a 12 seed always comes through.
Yeah, that's why
I don't see it happening this year, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility, but I'm not putting my name out there on it. So,
but since we mentioned briefly the Texas Tech and Akron, they will play the winner of Alabama and Hofstra. Since we brought in the resident Alabamian, talk to me about what is going on campus yet again. And is that enough of a distraction to be bounced out early in this tournament?
Right? I don't know. It's almost like they're losing focus right now at the worst time, and you're backing your way into the NCAA tournament, and you have players doing knucklehead stuff, and I'm like, dude, you literally, like, how do you transport that much marijuana and you think that they're not going to think that you are literally trafficking? You're lucky you missed it by 0.5. You missed it by 0.5 an ounce, or you would have got a trafficking charge in Alabama. But he's been removed off campus. Hopefully they can recalibrate, recenter, and get focused. I picked Alabama to win, but if they play like they did in their second round, they'll be going home.
9 times out of 10, they will play the winner. Well, Texas Tech, in theory, unless Akron pulls an upset. Now, you mentioned your 2 upsets that you went through, Chef. Fleck, talk to me about which team do you think it's prime for an upset in the first round?
In the first round, I was looking at that St. Mary's Texas A&M game. Texas A&M is the 10 seed. I think they get St. Mary's. I got them getting St. Mary's. I picked them to get St. Mary's. Another one that I was looking at is I'm not sold on Kentucky this year.
I'm not either.
I'm not sold on Kentucky this year. And they got Santa Clara as the 10 seed. So those were my 2. I mean, I know they're cheap because they're 7-10 matchups, but those are the 2 that I got. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if Texas beat BYU. That's just me.
Well, Texas,
I didn't pick Texas to beat them, but I wouldn't be surprised if they beat them. Is what I'm saying.
I picked Texas to beat them. I did. I picked Texas to upset BYU. But they're gonna have to strap the shoes up to get that win, because they got another monster in that game that they have to deal with, because that's another grown man that's playing for BYU, and they have a well-rounded team. I like BYU, but I think Texas should pull it out in a close one.
With that being said, gentlemen, give me your final 4. Chef?
You're going to love this. I have Michigan State against Illinois, and then I have Arizona playing Iowa State.
Arizona and Iowa State. Why you BS? I got to look up mine. I don't even know what I did.
Hey, look, I got to go look up mine too.
So, yeah, it's going to be interesting, but yeah, like we said earlier, Michigan State, I actually have Michigan State going all the way to the championship game. Like I said, Tom Izzo, he knows how to motivate players, and they're a well-rounded, dangerous squad. So
I had, I mean, if you want me to go ahead and give you mine.
Go ahead.
I got Duke Gonzaga. Of course, I'm going to be a homer with Florida.
You should.
And I got Iowa State coming out of the Midwest. So I got Duke, Gonzaga, Florida, and Iowa State.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I too have Iowa State making it Final Four, but I got Arizona playing them in the Final Four. I got Houston versus St. John's. In the finals, I got Arizona beating St. John's. I got Arizona taking it.
Yeah, Arizona it's going to be a tough out. If you get the Arizona squad that finished the season, you're going to have to work to win against them. Arizona is a very good team.
And I'm gonna give you two pick'ems, if I'm being completely honest, and that is Florida versus Houston in that Elite Eight, because that can go either way,
It can go either way.
and Arizona and BYU.
See
So
that?
I think BYU's gonna give people some fits, but I think they lose in best player doesn't necessarily mean the best team. And I think teams like Duke, BYU will eventually go to wear themselves out, having the best player on the court, but not necessarily the best team. So that's what I am going with. My Elite Eight, St. John's against UConn. They'll battle one more time. Florida, Houston, Arizona, BYU, Michigan against Iowa State. So I do got Alabama going to Sweet 16 though. So they did enough.
Did they though?
But
But
I
mainly
love
because Akron beat Wisconsin. that's why I went with that matchup.
Oh, I also had I first round upsets. I also had VCU beating North Carolina. I forgot about that one.
North Carolina did lose their best player, but I got them losing, I think, in the second round.
They did. Yeah, I still went with North Carolina on that one.
Oh no, I got them in the Sweet 16. I got them losing to Houston. I'm gonna have to revisit that one. I got them beat Illinois. Illinois
Yeah.
for some reason doesn't
Really?
do it for me.
Now I did pick a 10-7 again with Missouri.
Miami, Missouri. I had that one too, but I was like, I'm wearing them out with the 7-10.
Yeah,
I had Missouri beat Miami also.
yeah. I was like Missouri. They're a problem. They are a problem.
I figured I wouldn't keep wearing y'all out with the 7-10 matchup.
I got A&M beating St. Mary's as a 10, and I do have Missouri beat Miami.
I do have a 9 seed beating.
And I got Santa Clara beat. I guess I picked them all. I picked all the number 10s.
You did? You
I'm
did
looking
dog
at it
shit?
now. Yeah, I guess I did. No. Sorry. No. I got UCLA.
Okay.
UCLA is the number 7 that I believe is going to move on.
Now I do have number 9 Utah State beating Villanova.
I got Villanova winning that one.
Yeah.
Villanova's what, ACC now?
No, I thought they still Big East. That small version of the Big East.
It must be that third team that came out the Big East, because it's only got 3 teams out there in the Big East that made it.
Yeah.
They were quietly entering. I thought Seton Hall wouldn't make it, but I guess not.
Yeah, that's yeah. Trying to see.
So your winners are?
I got Arizona.
I do too.
I'm a homer.
You should. You deserve it.
I'm not even gonna sit here in front like I picked anybody other than Florida.
Didn't they win last year?
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that the matchup that I'm really looking forward to, if it happens, is that Duke Michigan State. If they both make it to the Elite Eight.
You better get your popcorn ready, because that's going to be a magnificent game.
I got Duke and Michigan State. I got Michigan State beating UConn in the Sweet 16.
But either way, Duke got to get through either Kansas or St. John's in the Sweet 16. So they're going to be fighting since day one, pretty much.
But see, that's why I like them to make it as far as they do, because if they do, they're going to be battle tested. That coming out, any team coming out of the East is going to be battle tested. Whoever ends up coming out of that East, they're going to be battle tested. So I got Duke right now. I mean, I can't change it obviously once the thing starts, but
right.
I got Duke as the team coming out of that East.
Change it all the way up to the first game tomorrow.
No. I mean, as it's happening.
Right. Yeah, we don't have a pool this year, so.
Now, one player that I will say put on an incredible show in the tournament, in the SEC tournament, is Acuff from Arkansas. He has catapulted his draft stock.
Ain't he from Florida?
Huh? Acuff?
one of them boys from Arkansas that was balling. He's from the crib. I
It
can't
might be
remember
him.
which one it was.
It might be him. All I know is when that one, like he has been a walking bucket for about a month and a half now, and I'm curious to see where he takes it because I have them going all the way to the Sweet 16. So, and then they hit a brick wall when they hit Arizona. But yeah,
Well,
Michigan is the only one seed that I don't have in the Final Four. I just realized that.
oh really? Yeah, see that? Yeah,
I got Duke, Florida, Arizona, and Iowa State.
yeah.
I got two number ones, I believe. No, just one. I don't remember. I just came off the app.
I literally only got one number one seed because like I said, I got Michigan State a 3 seed, I got Illinois a 3 seed, I got Iowa State a 2 seed, and Arizona.
Oh yeah, I had Michigan, but I got Iowa State beating Michigan.
Yeah, I also got Iowa State beating Michigan.
Yeah, I've been going back and forth with that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. That's why I have like 3
Houston and Florida for me. I've been going back and forth with as well. Yeah,
I mean, I'm telling you, if they come out and play the way they played against Vanderbilt, my bracket is going to be jacked up.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I got Florida winning it.
Those conference championships are 4 games in 4 days. You know, it's exhausting.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
Who's your championship game?
I got Arizona beating St. John's.
Who you got, Rob?
I got Michigan State playing Arizona and Arizona winning it all.
Yeah, I got Florida playing Iowa State. I don't know how I got Iowa State, but I got Florida playing Iowa State and Florida winning.
I've been going, like I said, I've been going back and forth. I think Michigan is good enough to run the gauntlet.
Yep.
And I don't that bracket is not as hard, obviously, as the East. So.
And that's the thing, like the and that's why I got Florida making it. That South bracket, there's not a lot of roadblocks. I'll say it that way.
It's not until they play Houston. If they get there, not until yeah. I agree. It's not much, you know.
I mean, Vanderbilt's there as the 5, and Vanderbilt is as hot as anybody in the nation right now.
Yes, they are. Lord,
so I'm not gonna like totally dismiss Vanderbilt. I think I got them making it to the Elite 8, maybe. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta look at my bracket again. Yeah, I got them making it to the Elite 8, where they lose to Florida.
Either way, we should have some fun start tomorrow around noontime-ish Central Time, probably 11 actually, 11 a.m.
Should be around, yeah.
We'll see how that. But I haven't really been feeling it. Usually, I thoroughly enjoy the March Madness tournament, so I doubt I won't enjoy these as well. As long as the games are close. Like I said, it started last night with Texas playing North Carolina State, the Wolfpack there, and we'll see where it ends as far as who finishes it off.
I'm wondering how that game will play Texas. Made me really think. I'm really been going back and forth with should I stick with Texas going forward in my bracket, or did they just show a chink in the armor and they might be out early?
They're playing BYU though.
BYU, and I picked BYU. Like I said, I did pick BYU.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, right now after what North Carolina State was doing last night, it really has me going back and forth right now.
I got Texas beating BYU.
I do too. I do too. But again, last night watching
Texas
the game,
lack of defense.
Exactly.
They was not playing defense at all.
And that's the thing. You don't want to play BYU not playing defense, because BYU they can rack them up. They can rack it up. So it's difficult.
NCAA college basketball, it's a proven fact. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
There you
And
go.
those teams that end up hot. And speaking of, is not where you start, is where you finish. Uh, the Baltimore Ravens started with
Okay.
Max Crosby, ended up with Trey Hendrickson.
Oh, Jesus, how we get
Uh,
there? Lord have mercy.
yeah, you like how I lined that one up perfectly.
Man, you flip. I mean, flip. Yes, man. It
What we had, it was a perfect segue. I didn't know what I was going. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but the words
Kudos.
started flowing, and bam,
I mean,
Baltimore
man,
Ravens can't even pick up the man from the airport. Either
bro,
way,
bro.
uh, again, those are allegations, which he has no reason to
Allegedly.
lie.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think anybody's ever said I wasn't picked up at the airport as a lie. uh, but Chef, you came in late. Trey Henderson came in late. See what I did there as well. Talk to me about what is going on in Baltimore, and is just talk. What's going on?
Brother, I'm so confused right now. I'm not sure what's going on with my front office. Like, you have a star player coming in with his family, and you don't have a vehicle there to pick him up at the airport, and nobody to greet him, and he has to drive his family, allegedly, to the facility. And then the owner, the general manager doesn't even talk to him until I think 30 minutes before he got the news, literally. I'm like, so he's walking through the building and his family is basically there just freelance walking around, getting acclimated. And you're not even there to escort the man. You don't have somebody there to greet the man. You don't, and then you just tell him you don't feel there's some bad feelings about whatever's going on with his medical, and then you try to let me calm down. It, you you say that you were hoping to sign him and Trey Hendrickson.
Wait, were you boiling? Your
Yeah,
tone didn't change whatsoever.
I'm hot right now because I'm like, I
Your
don't
tone didn't change whatsoever.
I'm just like, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Like, this is not how you do business. And especially not with a guy like that, a game record like that. He's going to remember that. And he's going to give us that back tenfold. We're going to have to see him at some point. And I don't want them problems. I do not want them problems.
I'm going to come right back to you.
I think it was a case of. Oh, go ahead.
I'm going to go right back to you, Chef, and then I'll go to you, Fleck. I need to ask this. Well, it's Max Crosby failing the physical is literally the worst kept secret in football right now, right? Like, everybody knew. Like, you could give me a starter set, operation, board game. Like, I knew he wasn't passing a physical right now.
Exactly.
The Ravens knew that.
The Ravens knew. Literally, there's no
I think it was a case of buyer's remorse once they figured out that they could get Trey Hendrickson without giving up draft picks. I think it was a case of buyer's remorse.
That's exactly and I'm a Ravens fan. Everybody knows it, but I have to agree.
Wasn't Henderson himself hurt?
He's farther along in his rehab.
Yeah, he passed the physical apparently.
Yeah, he was.
Well, anybody can pass a physical if you want them good enough.
And the thing is, it's not like
it didn't cost them draft picks to get Hendrickson. That's what I'm getting at.
That's all it is.
That's what I'm getting at. Buyer's remorse.
Have to give up first round draft picks for Hendrickson, but I'm like, why try to spin it though and say that you were trying to sign both players? And I'm like, just be real. Just be real. You got buyer's remorse. You wanted your first round picks back, so you utilized that. He failed the physical. When in actuality, the doctor who performed the surgery, who is one of the top surgeons in sports medicine, said that he is not only healing well, but he's ahead of schedule. And I'm like, it just didn't sit right with me. And I'm just like, this is not the way that you do business. And now all of a sudden, they're trying to get Carter from Philadelphia. And I'm like, I don't think anybody's going to want to do business with you after this.
Trying to get who from Philadelphia?
Carter?
Oh, Jalen Carter?
Yeah, they're negotiating, trying to see if they can. Philly is willing.
Philly would be dumb as hell to trade him.
Well,
I wouldn't
they
trade
don't know
him.
if they can sign him long term. Right.
But the
Philly
other
would
problem
still
is-
be dumb as hell to trade him right now.
But the other thing is, though, after what just happened with Max Crosby, I just got a feeling that trades with Baltimore are going to be far and in between because of the simple fact this has created a bad taste in GM's mouths, players' mouths, and owners' mouths. I just got a feeling this is going to have a ripple effect, and Baltimore is going to literally have to work to repair their image because this is just not Baltimore the way they're doing business right now.
I want to add one thing. I think the Raiders won the no trade. They literally got free agents left and right to like fulfill that defense. Good players, great players.
Great players.
A little bit of overpay, but they had the money for it.
They got the money.
And they get Crosby back, who, if he's willing to stay there, which looks like right now he is, the Raiders
It's gonna be nasty.
He's not going nowhere. He doesn't want to go nowhere.
Not now. We don't.
No, he didn't want to go in the first place. He wants to be a Raider for life.
No, he wanted.
No, he wanted to get. He wanted going.
I mean, at one point he did. Last year he did.
The trade gave him a bad taste in his mouth.
Exactly.
That trade, the business of the trade, definitely gave him back. All Max Crosby got to do is, hey, we'll work it out. That's fine. Just extend me 2 more seasons, make it fully guaranteed. Man is 29.
Who?
Max Crosby. That defense.
He just signed the contract last season.
No, that's what I'm saying. For him to stay longer. That's what I'm saying. Longer.
And I'm glad he's not.
That way he doesn't act for another trade. He's like, you know what? I'll stay right here and I'll wreck shop. Because that defense.
No, I'm saying the big contract doesn't go into effect until this coming up season.
Right.
He just literally signed it last season.
He is.
The contract don't go into effect until this will be year 1 of his new contract.
Right. He literally. I'm so glad he's not on our schedule because the day after he got back from Baltimore, he was in the facility at 5 a.m. working out.
Max is gonna kill you.
We're gonna die. We're gonna die.
With that being said, the Ravens hasn't done anything to
Hendrickson and
outside of Henderson. And even Henderson, if I'm being quite honest with you, I don't trust the man. He didn't want to come to work.
but
And I get it. It was a free agent year. Free agent year, people usually don't want to.
and it's
Long-term money, but
It was Cincinnati.
Yeah, that was Cincinnati.
That was Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, with a defensive player, was still a
He was
playoff
it,
caliber
though.
team.
He was it. I mean, they had like a linebacker, him, and some secondary play, but
Who?
actually their defense was sketchy at best.
No, I agree, but that division was so down that they were even in the hunt come week 17. They were
Yep.
still in the hunt, and Henderson decided not to come to work.
I don't blame him.
That's
Oh,
what I
He
have a
wanted a
problem
new
with.
contract.
I don't blame him.
I'm
They
pretty sure they was trying to give him a new contract. He didn't want
No,
it.
they wasn't. No, they wouldn't. They said they were.
They
No, they
said-
weren't.
He
They
didn't
wasn't
want
trying to
it.
pay. They wasn't trying to pay him what he felt he was worth.
that's
I would
exactly it.
respect him if he said, you know what, I just don't want to be in Cincinnati. It's okay to say, I don't want to be here anymore. A
You
lot of
don't want to burn them type of bridges,
Right.
especially going into free agent, because you know the NFL likes to make an example out of it. You don't want to come out and say that
and I totally understand that.
and
You
mess
got-
up your money.
You got 5 Cleveland Browns players before the season even finished, went on Twitter and said, I will be a free agent. I will be a free agent.
But that's
will.
different than saying in season I don't want to be here in Cincinnati. That's totally different.
I'm
Than
just saying, like,
saying
And the other part of that is,
but it's
you're
okay
talking
to say
about
you don't want to be
you're
there.
talking about Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, after the season, you don't want to say that during the season.
AJ Brown said it during the season.
No, they didn't. They said it after the season.
He waited
said it
after the
during
season. No, he waited until the season was
It was,
over.
it was after the season when they said it.
Brown was
Yeah.
Trust me. He said it during the season.
All the
They had
Browns players after the season said that they were done in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Shit. Cleveland is done in Cleveland.
Basically,
Cleveland proposed a new rule today. Proposed, obviously it has to be voted out. Trading a first round pick for 5 years in the future instead of 3. They're trying to be like the Lakers, who's still trading first round picks in 2031. Talk to me about that. Is that smart? Not smart?
that's the most Cleveland Brown offer I've ever heard of.
I don't see an issue with it. It gives you more ammunition to make trades with. I don't see any issue with it.
We'll see. I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see.
I wouldn't have an issue if it became a thing. I'll say it that way.
Yeah.
That is definitely something to look forward to. They're also looking at replacement referees. It's possible that the referee CBA will not be ratified for their new upcoming season. So they're going to look for replacement referees.
Excuse me real quick. I got to put in an application real quick.
Hey, it could be a thing, but I'm pretty sure you have to start somewhere. And going from the couch to the NFL is not a thing. Maybe when those NCAA refs go up, you might be able to sneak in
Look,
college.
I saw the replacements, the movie. I saw the replacements, the movie. If they can do it, if they can do it, I can do it.
What's that I can do?
Yeah, but Joe Falco was playing in the NFL or whatever the league they were playing in 20 years before that. But either way, that's definitely intriguing. Speaking of a CBA, the women of the WNBA got theirs approved today. Remember, here All Sports Matters. The salary cap went from $660,000 to 1.5, I believe.
Supermax can get up to 2.7, I think it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm
talking about. The actual cap. It's it'll start at $7 million, up from 1.5.
Okay, there we go. That's what it was. And the
Supermax starts at 1.4.
Where the minimum was at 330, which now is 660. I believe that doubled for the minimum contract. So that's definitely a plus in that regards.
And
but it is that the average salary is going to be about 600,000. The minimum is 300,000 now.
That's what it used to be.
And
it was 66,000 before.
That's okay. That's even more depressing.
Yeah.
66,000.
It was the minimum was 66,000 before, and now it'll be 300,000, a little bit more than 300,000. And the average salary was 120,000, and now it's 600,000.
I know those owners are furious right now.
Yeah.
Pay them women, man.
Exactly. Stop being cheap. Pay them down.
Obviously the money's there somewhere. Otherwise, they wouldn't be throwing these numbers around at all, right?
Right.
Well,
the money's there somewhere.
But just like the United States women's national soccer team making millions, the women WNBA has, and we don't want to say, maybe it started with Caitlin Clark. Maybe it started with the feud of Angel Reese. Maybe it started with the dominance of South Carolina. But either way, it started, and now it's going up and up because UNESCO and
Hey,
don't you do Asia Adebayo like that?
But between
I was going to get there.
You got to call Asia because
you have to start there. You can't disrespect the MVP. You have to start.
I was talking about the trap picks. I wasn't talking about Asia Adebayo. Okay, y'all need to relax.
You have to start
with who is going to be number one. Who will probably be number one coming up? This isn't girl eligible.
Who?
Juju?
Yeah.
Nah, she's going back to USC. She already said she back at USC.
She said I thought she said she was going pro. That's why she sat out.
That's
No.
what I thought so too.
She already said she going back to USC.
That's what I thought. I thought she set out to be ready for the pro season.
Yeah, I thought she set out so she
No.
could prep to go to the W.
Could be
Boo.
wrong, but I thought
That's
the
what I
last
was-
thing I saw was her
that's
saying
what I
that
was
she was coming
leading
back to
to.
USC.
Where
Yeah.
all of that still goes through Miss Asia Wilson, Brianna Stewart, and a few others in the WNBA. But I'm happy they're getting paid. I'm happy they got their money. Speaking of getting paid, Ronda Rousey showed up at AEW.
Who cares?
Oh gosh.
Because
I got to drink water.
because Jake Paul is putting together an MMA card. Now, we're talking about money here. This has nothing to do with one or the other. Now that they have rival promotions, something that we thought it was going to be a gimmick is serious. MVP Promotions is putting on these cards, and Netflix is paying it all up. Talk to me about the future of professional fighting, because Nate Diaz is signed for the card. Francis Ngannou is signed for the card. And yes, Ronda Rousey is signed for the card. And now be mindful, a couple weeks after that, Mike Tyson versus Floyd Mayweather. We got, I'm not done yet, Tyson Fury is signed on for a card just on Netflix. Now, what I'm trying to say is all of these are fighting outside of the federations.
I'm tired of all these gimmicks.
But
Because that's what they are.
is it really gimmicks when they're doing it because they're not getting paid?
You're not getting paid where?
In these federations. Shakur Stevenson got stripped of his belt because he took on a major fight and they got mad.
As an athlete, okay, cool. I understand that. I'm saying as a fan, I'm tired of all these gimmick bouts. Because that's what they are to me. That's why it was so satisfying to me when Anthony Joshua damn broke Jake Paul's jaw. That was so satisfying to me.
Right. No,
I'm tired of all of these gimmick matches. Like Tyson and Mayfield. It's gimmick. You know, I'm tired of it.
Yeah, it's got no, seriously.
I'm tired of it. Like I am. As a fan, I'm not speaking for anybody else or nothing. I'm speaking strictly for
nobody
Flex.
wants to see Mike Tyson with his ass out. I understand all that. I totally get it. Those days are behind us as far as the great fighters of past, Roy Jones, Evander Holyfield.
And that's my thing, you know what I'm saying? Like especially with Tyson, and even, you know what I'm saying, to a lesser extent with Floyd, man. Like after seeing them dominate at the level that we saw them dominate, to see what they're doing now because they need to make $1, it's for me.
But isn't it easier just to say? I can easily say, just don't watch it.
And I don't. So you're right.
I haven't watched.
I catch the highlights because we talk about it.
Yeah, right. It's not going to stop these artists from coming back. The Backstreet Boys are doing a whole.
No, again, like I said, I totally understand it from the athlete standpoint. I'm saying me from a fan standpoint. I'm speaking strictly from my point of view. I'm not speaking from yours. I'm not speaking from Rob's. I'm not speaking from Joe Blow out there in whatever land. I'm speaking strictly from my point of view. I'm sick of it.
And I piggyback that sentiment. As someone who truly loved watching boxing when it was competitive, I can't get behind this. I really can't. I mean, you go from, you know, bouts like Hearns Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Roberto Duran, or even like a decent Tyson fight where, you know, you have someone that is competitive like Bone Crusher Smith fighting a Tyson, to these gimmicks. It's not worth
I will say something that's unpopular. Tyson ain't fight nobody.
No,
Tyson didn't fight nobody.
No, Bone Crusher Smith is a problem. He was a problem back then. He was a really good fight. Tyson didn't knock him out.
Hey, what did you say? He fought who was in front of him, right?
Yeah, and that's the part.
And that's fine.
That's the case.
The moment they fought back, it was a little bit different.
Who is Floyd fought then?
Floyd has fought some contenders. Cotto, he fought Hatton, he fought
Ricky Hatton. I give you Ricky Hatton.
Miguel
But,
Cotto undefeated. Canelo was undefeated.
Canelo, yeah, that's two.
Mayweather. Now, I'm not a Mayweather. There's no secret to that. I am not a Mayweather fan. But Mayweather fought young greats where they were better later with more fights. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not
Yeah,
really
no,
a big
I
Floyd fan.
understand you guys' point. I do, but the whole thing is they're getting away from this is a WBO title fight. This is a WBA title fight. This is the light heavyweight got to fight the regular heavyweight because the super heavyweight is unavailable. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that I was always annoyed by. And that's one thing I do enjoy about the UFC, where one division, one champion. It's just heavyweight. It's just middleweight. You know what I'm saying? It's lightweight. I thoroughly enjoy that when it comes to the UFC, but they're not getting paid.
Yeah.
They're not getting paid, and now these athletes are coming out and they're voicing their opinions because they're not under contract.
Now, I would like to see Francis Ngannou put his hands on Jake Paul.
I already got my satisfaction on him. I'm over him.
Yeah,
I ain't got to watch. I ain't got to see anything else that happens with him. When Anthony Joshua broke that boy jaw and then walked off like this on him, I was that's it. So much satisfaction through my bones.
That really did. I ain't gonna hold you. That hit me right here, and I really felt special watching that. I almost shed a tear on that one, but I know Francis Ngannou doesn't like Jake Paul like that, and he even said he wants to hurt him badly.
Well, obviously he does because Jake Paul is paying Francis Ngannou to fight. So
yeah,
you can hate people all you want, but if they decide to pay you, you be like, give me a hug.
You gonna take that check? Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
With that being said, we just got done with the World Baseball Classic. United States fell short yet again, losing to Venezuela. A lot of criticism these days has gone to Aaron Judge being the captain. They said that every time an Aaron comes out with holding the American flag, they're losing. Is the criticism fair, foul, or irrelevant that Aaron Judge is just not Captain Clutch?
I mean, last night it was a fair assessment because him and Schwarber both looked terrible.
Terrible.
I mean, I think they were like I think they combined for like 8 at bats and 6 strikeouts.
Correct. And Harper had a terrible tournament. He just
and he was the only one that showed up last night.
They had 3 hits.
He was the only one that showed up last night because he hit the 2-run home run, right?
$440 million contract and 3 hits.
That's crazy.
To lose to a team of Venezuela.
Shout out to my boy Ronald Acuna, though.
Shout out to Salvador Perez, who has labored in Major League Baseball for decades, quite possibly already wrapping up a Hall of Fame career for the Kansas City Royals. And speaking of Ronald Acuna Jr., you took the one question that I have. Only 3 players in the history of baseball has won the World Baseball Classic, a World Series, and an MVP award. Acuna, yes, is one.
Shohei.
Obvious. Shohei is obvious. Who's number 3? Not so obvious.
The damn Shohei Ohtani, man. That's all I can say. That damn Shohei Ohtani.
What country is he from?
Who?
Major League Baseball. Oh,
the third one.
America.
Is he?
He's a white bird.
He's a what?
He's
a white bread.
A white bread?
White bread.
Oh. Oh.
He was actually the first to accomplish the feat, actually.
He was what?
He was the first to accomplish that feat. Winning the World Series, winning MVP and winning a World Baseball Classic?
Damn. I don't know. I don't know who third one is.
I have no clue.
Buster Posey out of San Francisco.
Yeah, I would have never guessed that.
Yeah, that would have never came to my dang on.
That name would have never come out of my mouth.
And I mean, I know who Buster Posey is.
I know who he is
But
too,
never-
but I wouldn't have. Yeah, I was not even on the plane to say Buster Posey.
Speaking of questions, Chef, what you got for us?
So, not so much as a question, it's just to highlight women athletes, because this is Women History Month this month. We want to highlight, since this is March Madness, the accolade of Pat Summitt, Tennessee legend, born June 14th, 1952 in Clarksville, Tennessee. Literally a walking icon in the sport of college basketball. She was everything to the University of Tennessee. She was a co-captain of the 1976 U.S. Olympic women's basketball team. She returned and she coached the women's team in '84 and led them to Olympic gold. She was the head coach at Tennessee for 38 seasons. And during that time, the Vols had 8 NC Division I championships. And when she retired, she had 1,098 wins, the most in college basketball history at that time of her retirement. And she was inducted into the Hall of Fame in its inaugural class in 1999. Pat Summitt, a true legend of the sport of college basketball. We salute you and thank you for everything you provided us. You're the great one.
Definitely a legend lost cancer, right?
I think it was cancer.
Yeah.
No, Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's.
Yep, she had Alzheimer's. Yep. Passed away June 28th, 2016.
2016 has only been already 10 years. Jeez.
Yeah, she was 64 years old. She passed away 2 weeks after her 64th birthday.
Wait, Alzheimer's at 60 doesn't sound about right.
Well, sadly,
Yeah,
right now,
it was early onset with her.
it was really, yeah. And sadly, right now, I hate to segue into medical stuff, but do whatever you can to take care of yourself out there, people, because people's health is deteriorating rapidly. Right now, there is a large portion of the United States that is coming up with cancer in their 20s, heart attacks in their mid-20s to 30s.
It's because of a lot of the stuff going into foods now. You know what I mean? Like
Pay attention.
they're using a lot of
Yes.
carcinogens and shit in food now.
Yes, exactly. Pay attention to what you're doing, how you're eating, what you're eating, where you're going out to eat. And I don't want to sound like a broken record and telling you what you need to do, but take care of yourself. That's all I have.
Am I missing anything, gentlemen?
So,
Not that I can think of.
no, not that I can think of either.
Enjoy March Madness weekend. I know
Good luck.
golf is picking up. NASCAR is starting up.
Oh,
Baseball starts next week, next Wednesday on Netflix.
next month, the Masters.
Yeah, it's always the week after Easter. So
Easter. Yep, a week after Easter.
Oh crap! I'm gonna be in Georgia. Oh
Go get some of that, man. Go get some of
no!
that.
The traffic's gonna be ridiculous. Now I know why
Yes,
the
it is.
price went up.
Yes, it is. It's definitely.
I didn't realize until you said it now because everything's getting a little bit more expensive.
Very much so.
I'll be over there to come hang out with you for a little while.
Nice.
But as they say, people love baseball, basketball, football. But here, all sports matters.
Peace
Gentlemen,
out.
it's been a pleasure. JB is working tonight. Also has some church commitments, so we don't want to forget that we do have a fourth brother. He's just it's like the I think the fourth one. I don't really. It's like the voice of the Boyz II Men who didn't really follow.
Michael
They just stayed in the back.
You talking about Mike McQuarrie, the one that had MS?
And that's me then. He had MS. He has MS.
Yeah, he has MS.
That's why he couldn't tour.
Yeah.
I know that's the only reason he stopped. But yeah, we can BS all night. But it's been a pleasure. Hope to see y'all next week. Enjoy the tournament this weekend.
Drink water, people.
Yeah.
Peace out, folks. All sports matters.
Holla.